Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It's Friday. I haven't even had my breakfast. I haven't even had my tea or anything like that. And the news was broken around 2 minutes past 9. A lot of you probably falling out of your bed. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of really no surprise in the end. But yeah, West Ham United Football Club on the official website confirmed that we've signed Kalvin Phillips. I mean, I'll give it a few minutes for the chat to build up. You guys are all jumping in there, you naughty people. It's a live show after a long time, and I think you guys deserve it. But yeah, it's a Friday. It's a good start to the weekend and things like that, really. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you a couple of more things. Just give it a couple more minutes before it kind of all builds up and everything. But yeah, Kalvin Phillips has signed for West Ham United. It's all kind of official. Let's see if you can see that. Let's have a look. Hang on a minute. There we go. Yeah, so I hope you guys are doing good. But yeah, the kind of the website is, yeah, let's just go for everything from the beginning. West Ham United signing England international Kalvin Phillips on loan. West Ham United is delighted to confirm he's on loan until the end of this season. 28 years old. He's going to be 29 next December, if I remember. He joins the Hammers from Man City and could make his debut in Thursday's Premier League fixture with AFC Bournemouth at London Stadium. So surely that'll be a sellout now for that, or anyone else we're going to sign. He's capped 31 times by England. Phillips started every game as the Three Lions reached the final of UEFA Euro 2020 and appeared at the 2022 World Cup finals as well. At club level, he led his boyhood club Leeds to the Premier League. I think he was their captain as well. And at City didn't get much of a look, but apparently it was his good character that Guardiola was really impressed with. And I think that's one of the reasons David Moyes always takes his time buying players. He has to make sure that the character coming into the dressing room is not a kind of an Arnie or any one of those, or Payet and things like that. Because the rumours with Payet used to be that Arsene Wenger, the expert in the French market, knew about Payet always, but he never went in for him because there was always a shadow over what he does outside his personal life and his character. Is he a team player? Is he all that kind of thing. So it can, and Payet was a huge reason why we struggled badly in the London Stadium first couple of seasons and things like that, really. So yeah, but that's kind of it. And then obviously I always like to let's see who's joining in the chat, you naughty people. Let me see, we've got Wazim's in the show. Wazim, morning, mate. You're always on call. Wazim is one of the loyal ones, deserves a gold medal, I think, mate. Great signing. Yeah. Let me just see if I can change the way. Yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? There you go. You got Jazzy Boy in there. Yeah, why not, mate? Morning, bruv. Morning, Stuart. How you doing, mate? Have you got any spare hash browns for Jazz? Jazz loves hash browns in his breakfast. Hope you're doing good, Stuart. Glenn's in there. Hope... I think, Glenn, the biggest thing is, mate, it's injuries, isn't it? He hasn't got a great record in injuries. When he's fully fit, mate, he's an England squad regular. And dare I say it, with Declan Rice, they formed around the Euros, they were regulars, mate. And he's a leader. He's physically strong, Glenn. And God, at Bristol City, mate, I wanted to run into the TV with a hammer. Oh, mate, we were getting bullied at the pitch. We're getting players were getting slapped round, getting punches thrown at them. There was no leader from our team who's trying to intervene, bite back at Bristol City. There was no one, wasn't it? I know we were missing a fair few players, mate, and I also know that in a modern game, you can't go around being a Vinnie Jones or Billy Bonds or Julian Dix or Roy Keane. You can't do it. But listen, we still need someone who can physically make a good tackle that'll make them know that we're there. So you imagine, I'll go into a bit later on and I'll tell you what I'm really, really excited about, but certainly he brings bite, mate. This guy is strong. He's built like an ox, mate, and it's just the injuries. I hope that takes care of itself, and that's it, mate. From that, Stuart's joining in, mate. How you doing? You all right? Yeah, that's what I was saying, mate. That's the thing with him, but listen, we don't know, isn't it? I don't think we could have turned down this opportunity. There were lots and lots of clubs after him. And again, I remind West Ham United players who moaning a little bit, we couldn't imagine getting this type of caliber player, say even 5 years ago. Yeah, he's a England regular, right? And even within our own team, we got to really appreciate what we got. You know, like Bowen, he could have gone to any club, and he saw a project, he stayed, which was amazing, surprising, but very, very pleasing at the same time. We've got Paqueta again. The best club in the world is kind of loving him, right? And we've got him. Right, you got Alvarez, you've got kind of Kalvin Phillips now. You've got Ward-Prowse, who I know Ward-Prowse is 30 and he's got a few things up and down each game. But listen, he's a big name player. Again, a very, very important squad player, a good professional. These are all. Don't forget, I think. Yeah, just remember that Ward-Prowse was captain, wasn't he? I think Alvarez has been captain, and not one or two other things going on with him. And then you've got him, Kalvin Phillips, and then Bowen's got such a mature head on his head, so you can see that it's a very, very good dressing room, a very, very experienced dressing room, very calm dressing room, very talented dressing room. It's kind of good, and you can't sort of monetize or the value of things like that in the dressing room, where you've got good people, good leaders at that. The only thing is the defense needs sorting out in my eyes, but listen, that's for another program. We can't do everything in one window, we get that, but we do have issues in the centre back area, as I mentioned. We need some youngsters at the full back option, and Glenn Johnson, I mean, listen, he surprised me a lot. It's football is a funny old game. Cornet always knew he's a half decent player if you look after him, motivate him, bring him and manage him in the right way. There's a player in there. I know that, right? I know that. Glenn Johnson is the one I've been really, really disappointed about, but I love being proved wrong. And yeah, God, will he? I mean, the midfield looks really packed now, doesn't it? Especially in the middle. So we'll see. But looks like he can do half a job there, everyone. And he's homegrown. He's very, very religious. He goes to the church. He's a very down to earth kid, a very good kid. And then you can tell, Moisey deep down probably thinks he's a good kid to have around. And they're trying to do a deal, mate. Trying to do a deal. Robert is there. Robert, the good thing is, we've got this one in the bag, mate, and we've got another 5 days, and we will see what that happens. You know what we need, don't you, mate? We need cover at full back. Centre backs is going to be difficult because we've got to get a few out the door, and Agard, he's not going to go. Mavropoulos is too early to get rid of him. We got to bear with him. We've got to just monitor the Zuma knee thing, the Oggy thing. Just was interesting to see Agard hasn't missed any game in the AFCON, and he's been running around all happy and. Listen, I ain't got no time for him at the moment, mate. That's another thing for me. I get pissed off quickly, but yeah. We need a new midfielder. Okay, we got one, mate. We got one, mate. We got one. Hammerhead, we're gonna do the famous West Ham pitch. We're gonna do the formations and things in a minute. Yeah, I'm just so excited that you guys are back on the chat, mate. And that, yeah, Pac-Man. I heard Pac-Man ain't far away. He's been tweeting and things like that, isn't he, mate? I don't know anything about Jota though, Hammerhead. And then Osman Hammerhead, we covered him. That's a big risk for me. He's 19. In the Danish league, not the fucking Norwegian league. Like I was saying, apologies to Norway and Denmark. You know what I'm like? I used to call Ben Johnson, and you know me, I'm terrible with pronouncing Agard and Paqueta and things like that. I'm terrible. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Osman is a risk. He's 19. He's only played 30 games, mate, and it's raw talent, it's pace, it's energy, it's strength. It's exciting, but kudos must have given a good reference, mate. And if it's done, it's going to be around the 13 million mark, and we could loan him back. And then, so it's one that we going to be patient with, I think. For me, it's risky, but yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what kind of thing. Jota, I don't know nothing about Jota. I think he came for about 25 million, didn't he? From Celtic, is it? So yeah, the Spurs manager would know a lot about him. He looks like those 1970s porn actors, doesn't he, Jota, mate? Doesn't he? Let me know in the chat. He looks weird, but with a mallet and a bit of a moustache and things like that. But listen, if there's a bargain in there, then we'll be in there, mate. Yeah, Hammerhead. The thing with Mavropoulos, I think he's a better character. there is a lot of things wrong with him, mate. The back passes, he's not sure with the delivery with the ball at his feet. I'm not sure with him yet, mate. He makes me nervous. But what I'm hearing and what I don't like, and I wasn't liking him anyway, was Agard's attitude. And oh yeah, I'm not playing well. I'm getting pelters. I'm out of form. Yeah, I'll just say I got a bit of a cold. He's missed like 3 weeks because he's got a cold. Billy Bonds would have picked him up by the scruff of the neck, saying, "You got fucking cold, mate. Get out of there, you little shit." And then as soon as the AFCON comes, way before the squad is meant to get together, he can't wait to get out there, mate. You know, he's just gone out there fully fit and played the whole month, mate. And then he'll come back to us and be injured. I can't be bothered with him at the moment, mate. Okay, cool. Oh, I can't go into where Osman's going to fit in, isn't it, Hammerhead? So I don't know much about him. I think he's a winger, is he? I don't know. We'll see what happens, mate. Maybe Osman. Maybe Osman, not Osman. I mean, maybe Jota can help on the left wing, a ready-made while they be patient with Osman. I'm not too sure. Before I go into the chat, so let me carry on with the Kalvin Phillips thing, and this is kind of what he said. He said, "I'm sure we can give the West Ham fans plenty to be excited about between now and the end of the season. I'm really pleased to be here," said the Yorkshireman, who will wear the number 11 shirt, everyone. So, number 11 shirt. He said, "There's always been a lot of speculation about me moving to West Ham." And I go back to David Moyes. He's been sniffing around Phillips for a couple of years. And I think he kind of knew Rice was going a couple of years ago. And they were looking at him. But obviously when Man City come in with 45 million, whatever, we're not going to get a sniff. But he said, "I'm really excited to get going now. There's so much to look forward to season for the club. And I can't wait." And don't forget that he's not cup tied for Europa, everyone. He can play in the Europa. Going back to his comments, he said there's so much to look forward to in the second half of the season, and there's an unbelievable group here, and if I can come in and add quality, I know I'm capable of. West Ham fans should be excited. So again, we're getting a reputation in terms of the group of players, the kind of camaraderie, the good team spirit that David Moyes has built here. It's getting, and obviously winning the conference last year, that got headlines all around the world, and we're sixth at the moment in the league. I know we dropped 2 points to Sheffield United due to the ref, but we're in and out there, and if 2-3 more signings come in, injured players come back. But then what I regard as really important, everyone, is how the bench, who hasn't had a look in and has looked sad, it's looked out of form, it's looked pathetic, dare I say. That's what's made it really exciting for me to see Danny Ings kind of running at last, trying to make things happen. Johnson getting a bit of life in him. Cornet getting a bit of time on the minutes. Mubama getting a bit more. That is what we were crying out for. Benrahma looks definitely on his way out. We're looking at that. Permanent deals. We're really trying to be permanent, because these clubs in Europe, everyone, I know they haven't got much money, but they're pretending they got less than what they've got, and they just want your 30-40 million pound players who are struggling on a loan, 1 million fee, and then oh yeah, we might buy him at the end of the season if we win this, we win that happens. And you know, as with Vlasic, Torino couldn't even meet the 8-9 million we had agreed with them. So when it came for them obliged to buy him, they didn't want to know. They're like, we've only got 6 million in the piggy bank. So we just had to do that. And then I keep going back to Filippo Anderson, 35 million. I couldn't believe it when I was reading back. We apparently got 3 million back for him. And then Lazio got so many years out of him, and he's going on a free transfer in the summer. So again, yeah, we're trying to get rid of Benrahma. We're trying to get rid of Fornals. I think Pellegrini in Spain wants him over there. So there is still room to get people out the door and bring people in, really. And it's just freshening up a little bit, really. David Moyes says, "We are really pleased to bring a player of Kalvin's quality to West Ham United." And this is what I'm going to really go into. That the group of central midfielders we've got now, everyone, is James Ward-Prowse, Alvarez and Souček, really, including Phillips. That, I don't think many clubs in the league can match that, right? Going back to Moyes again, we've been big admirers of him for a long time. That's what I felt. We believe he will add strength and competition to his squad. He's an England international, proven in the Premier League. We're exciting and looking forward to joining him, really. So, yeah, then it kind of just goes into like Leeds. He played under Bielsa. And now what I'm going to do, everyone, I'm going to go back to the chat, and then we're going to look at the formations. So we're going to look at the formations again. I know you guys kind of like that. Daniel's in there. In Tim we trust. Listen, I don't know who to trust, but yeah. I mean, we'll never truly know, isn't it, who out of David Moyes, Sullivan, Noble's got a lot of say in this, everyone. Noble always has a say in everything. So I think it's just suffice to say that we've got to get out the mentality where when players good, we often say it's not David Moyes or not Sullivan's, and if he's bad, oh, that's a Moyesy Sullivan. I think let's get out that mentality and just blame everyone when it's not good, and when it's bad, and when it's good, just praise everyone. So if he comes in and does well, let's praise everyone who's within that structure, the club. You know, Moyes, Noble, Sullivan, Tim. If he's bad, let's collectively all take the blame, because otherwise we really won't know. We'll never know until someone writes a book. And these days they don't really write any juicy books anymore, do they? They don't need the money anymore. So I know Julian Dix has brought out a second one, hasn't he? So I've got to have a look at that one and things like that. But the new people, they don't need it, mate. They don't need the hassle. That's it, mate. Yeah, they all are, aren't they, Hammerhead? They're all trying to get away from the Saudi. Actually, there was a Saudi huge petrol oil company that came in for me 6 months ago. I would have gone out there. The money they were offering me, without even discussing it with the missus, I said, I'm going out there for 2 years and it'll change my life. I'm going out there. They put you in this little, where that oil company's based. It's not a famous city. It's kind of middle of nowhere. They put you in this They put you in this expat. You haven't got any water. It started the show so early. They put you in this ex-con village and you mingle with fellows from similar backgrounds and countries, and you can booze and all that. But yeah, the tax-free money. The house is free on rent. Everything else, they give you 60 days holidays. They pay for your flights back. It is nuts, mate. It's so mad. You have to go and consider it. You have to. You just can't say no. And well, they didn't come back anyway in the end, but saved me having to make a decision. I would have gone out there for 2 years, mate. It is that mad. So similarly with players, I know they're already rich, but it's just so incredible what they're offering you. It's tax-free. If you looked at the Neymar's package, everyone, it was private use of a helicopter. There's a limousine available as and when you need it. There was a staff of 10 people. There was discounts from shopping all around the world. There was their taxes already paid. It's mad. It's mad, but I didn't know it would be that bad that even after 3 months, people like Henderson, they can't wait to get out. So I don't know what's really bad. Is it just the culture that you can't? I mean, yeah, there's only so often you can spend time in your house and room without. I don't know what it is, but yeah, interesting with that, mate. Yeah, but he's done it before, Hammerhead. He's done it before. Definitely done it before in another game, mate. I think it was Europa. I can't remember. He's done it before, mate. No, he's fully fit. And don't forget, we are kind of covered in that area for now. Like, whether you like it or not, Souček is fit, right? You know, in that kind of area. We've got Ward-Prowse in there. Alvarez is back in the squad against Bournemouth, everyone. So it's not super urgent to put him in straight away. But I think he's a fit lad. He's fine, mate. Hammerhead, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. It's just the injuries. That can happen at any time. You can't blame that on West Ham or anyone, but you had to go in for this player, and we've got him. Yeah, it's just not happened for him, and I hate having to go out players, mate. Antonio, Benny, they've all been, I've all had a go at all them, and better for him. Yeah, good luck, mate, and thanks and all that. But at the moment, yeah, his head's not in the right way at West Ham anyway. But let's go into the formation, shall we? So I am gonna hide that for now. Then we're gonna go into our favourite little slide that we always do. Let me get that screen up. There we go, everyone. Hopefully you can see that. Let me go in the back a bit more so you can see that. So this is what I think is going to happen, everyone. And and the thing I'm most excited about is a centre mid, everyone, of Alvarez, Ward-Prowse and Kalvin Phillips. 5 years ago, that is amazing. That's kind of 100 million. 3. God knows what their values will be if they continue to improve, right? Ward-Prowse, I know a lot of you want him to bring more to the table in games. I get that. But at the same time, you're getting a model professional, touchwood, very fit, doesn't get injured a lot. Because we haven't got a striker or one or two other reasons, he should have got many more assists. He puts it on a plate, right, so often in the game. He's a penalty taker now officially, thank God for that. So he took that Sheffield United one. You can't, all those points you carry, I mean, he's worth 10 goals and assists in a season. So you imagine how many points that means to a club. He brings a lot to the table. Kalvin Phillips will be one of the most physically in-your-face, strong tacklers you'll see. West Ham love those type of players. You got Alvarez in there. So in this formation, Alvarez will be the sweeper. He'll drop back deep to help Zuma and Mavropanos. Even sometimes be like one of the three centre-backs. So he'll slip in between Zuma and Mavropanos at times, depending on what's going on in the game. That will allow Emerson and Kufal, or whoever you like, Johnson in Kufal, yeah, that's kind of discussed later on. It'll allow them to bomb on a bit more than they have traditionally under Moyes, so provide a bit of width. And then I don't think Antonio is going to come back in the team, certainly not straight away. And it looks like we're not going to get our Marquez striker signing in this window, everyone. I think that's pretty wise. If our top targets, whether that's Broja, are not available, then I don't want to panic and throw 30 million at something, because I don't know who the manager's going to be in the summer. If it's going to be a new manager, you got to keep a little bit for that manager. And I think Moisey, you probably know the way he thinks. He thinks he's got enough up front with Paqueta, Bowen and Kudos. And don't worry about Paqueta in the lineups looking like he's on the left wing. These three up front are slick and fluid. They're interchanging. I've seen it live at the ground. Right, 1 minute Bowen's up front and 1 minute Kudos is. It's all fluid, and Paqueta especially does not stay in one place. He's got the license to drift all over the pitch as a number 10. So don't worry about Paqueta sort of being isolated as a left winger. Don't worry about that. It's all fluid and slick, and this is, I think, how we're going to set up. Might not have enough flair in it for you guys, but we're hoping that will come from Emerson and Kufal. I mean, some of you might laugh at that, but that's what I think Moyes is thinking. But then the flick side of it is how strong we look defensively. I know Moyes always does that, but listen, you do need it in some of the games. So Ward-Prowse, Phillips, Alvarez, kind of very, very strong. And where you might be missing that true number 10 like Maddison, that we all love as fans, or a striker or a tricky winger, I think we're compensated that with Ward-Prowse's deliveries, and Emerson, who's come leaps and bounds, and he's amazing. I think he's offering a lot. Kufal is lively, even though talented wise he's slightly less than Emerson at the moment. But that's where I think it's going to look like, everyone. Yeah, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. Let me go back to it. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, mate, Hammerhead. But listen, suddenly when you look at the bench and you're thinking of Antonio, Souček, I mean, what's his name? JWP. Ward-Prowse might miss out sometimes. Phillips, I mean, I think Alvarez and Phillips are going to be in the team now till the end of the season, and they're going to be his CDMs, and that's simple as that, really. And whether Souček gets in sometimes, whether Ward-Prowse gets in sometimes, whether Cornet's going to get that left wing more minutes, we don't know. Whether Johnson's going to be in place of Kufal at right back going forward, we don't know. So we'll see. And if Zuma get injured, whether Johnson will fill in, or whether some of you said Alvarez will fill in next to Zuma or next to Mavropanos centre back. I can't see that happening, but I know in the past Alvarez has certainly played as centre back. There's lots of options there. I'm just trying to see if there's any more transfer gossip or anything from my sources. So while you chatter away, I'm just going to see if there's any more breaking news or anything, or see what's going on. Let's have a look. Just trying to see from last night. Hang on. So this is about the contract. It appears there will be no mention of the clause in the press release, which should follow this morning, which it has. So our sources are trying to get clarity of the situation, which has proved to be a real sticky point in negotiations, everyone. So as mentioned, and as you can read in that West Ham United Football Club statement this morning, there's no clarity of the situation about the clause. The previously agreed release clause, was thought to be around 40 million, but West Ham said we won't probably be able to afford that. It now appears it was felt it would be best to leave this agreement out and negotiate fresh in the summer. Okay, interesting. So there is no There's no release clause, everyone. Well, whether that's risky and allows other teams to get in there and sign him if he does well, which I don't think Phillips is that kind of guy. I don't think so. But it'll be in our hands, I think. I don't think City are going to take him back. And this financial fair play is really hitting clubs. And I've been reading a lot about Newcastle. It's all gone tits up at Newcastle, everyone. They're looking to get so many players out the window. They spent about 400-500 million. I think Callum Wilson, they've been offering him to clubs. Surprisingly, Trippier has been offered to Bayern Munich. Alman has been offered to the Saudis. Isaac's been offered to Arsenal. So Newcastle are under real shit, and there's all these stories of what's been going on around that club off the pitch. A lot of naughty stuff I can't even mention on here, mate. It's been bad. All those players have been up to hiring a house and doing whatnot with it. You know what I mean? And yeah, we all know that Italian guy. What he's been up to. He hasn't. So they have bought players who are really bad characters. So there's an example of throwing 500 million at the problem. And yes, they're quality players, but the dressing room is not united. There's big egos in there, and off the pitch, they've been up to all kinds of good, and that doesn't look good on Eddie Howe as a disciplinary. So again, whether you hate Moyes or not, he don't fuck about, and then that goes back to that comment. I don't know if you've seen it about Scamacca. Atlanta's manager has said and feeling what Moyes was feeling, and I was giving Moyes pelters that he's a lazy little shit. He's not doing anything, and even the Italian manager was heard to tell Scamacca during an international game to wake up. So there you go. You know, sometimes we just got to give the benefit of the doubt to the club when we release players, especially the youngsters. Like, we keep thinking if they're from the youth, they're one of us, they're going to be brilliant. Listen, and when they've left West Ham, they haven't done nothing. You got that Perkins at Leeds that they said we can't be bothered with him. They go, he's not right in the head. He's not the right personality. And it always makes me wonder why youngsters do this. And look, then you've got Johnson, who you can see he could have done a Perkins and definitely spit his dummy out and would have gone in the summer by bad-mouthing the club and everyone. He's just kept quiet and all of this. You know, he's a good lad. You can see Moyes is very keen to kind of attain him with that, really. So you got to mix it all up. Right, so that was that. So put your comments in before we close down. But basically, I think it's a good signing in terms of, yeah, he'll settle in fairly quick. I think he's fit to start. Hopefully, a no few of the lads. And I think from Declan Rice going from that central area, now we've got Ward-Prowse, Alvarez, and Kalvin Phillips. Listen, you cannot knock the club for that. I think that's a really good trio there, a very strong trio, and I would match that against anyone if we're away at Liverpool. We got that Arsenal game coming up very, very soon. That'll be feisty. I think Declan Rice, as normal, he came off the last game, but he's fully fit. I've heard he's training. Partey's on the way back. So Rice, Partey versus our 2-3. It's going to be fireworks. That's what we want. Just the defence worries me. So our defence, especially in the middle, that is the weak link at the moment because it's continuously changing as well. 1 minute Zuma's playing, 1 minute his knee ain't up to it. 1 minute Agard's there, 1 minute Agard's hiding in a bin somewhere. Mavropoulos is there. It's all up and down in that area, and that's something the club will look at, I think, in the summer. Yeah, so it's going to be very important 3-4 months for Agard and some other people to show what they can kind of do, really. Okay, so hi Ben. Ben's confirming that Jota, the 1970s porn actor lookalike, will be good on the left side. Excellent. And it gives me confidence that when we're really trying for players, we're really linked with them, then they got something about them. So thanks for confirming that, mate. That again confirms, Ben, if we get Osman, we're not going to be in a rush to use him. Like I said, the stories are if we get Osman, he'll go back out on loan. And again, that goes back to what I was saying, is a very risky move, Osman. Don't expect him to start against Bournemouth and do 2 assists. And I think it's a very risky signing, and we'll see what happens with that. I think with Agard in the AFCON, there ain't going to be no move, mate, in the next 3 days. I can't see Agard even physically for wanting to do it in Saudi. I don't think so, mate. You never know. I don't think so. Again, depends if Agard goes to that same team. I've heard that team Jota plays for. They're top of the Saudi league, and it's a load of shit anyway. I don't know if that makes a difference. Kilman is again captain of Wolves. He came from Maidenhead, Ian, who Alan Devonshire managers, and that's one of my local boroughs around where I live, really. So I've been meaning to go out there and have a look, see what's going on. But he's not cheap, Kilman. He's around the 25 million mark. So I don't think we got appetite. Yeah, like you said, you're right. Yeah, we have got appetite for 25 if Agard goes. So I think we've got 30-40 million at most for a Marque striker in the summer, and then we're relying on Agard. But again, trying to get that 30-35 million pound back, then we can go back in. Because I think the money's there for that kind of thing. And then suddenly, Ian, it looks like we just need to fine tune the team instead of a complete operation overall, which I was really worried about. Do you remember? So if it all carries on nicely the way it is now, but the key for me is Danny Ings provides something to the club. Cornet keeps getting bit more game time and does something. Johnson gets happy, signs a new contract. Mubama signs that new contract. Then suddenly it looks good. Then we just obviously need to tweak the full-back areas with younger options, sell Agard for a better defender, get the Marque signing in, and then see if we can get that Maddison number 10 in. And then we've got so many different formations we can do. I don't think we're going to have money for this Kalvin Phillips permanent deal. He's going to be 29 next December. So I don't know if the club are going to part with 30-40 million. So they just rather... It's quite a clever move. Instead of having that inserted in the contract and you've got to pay him 40, West Ham have felt that leave it out there, we can't agree. And by the time the summer comes, financial fair play, they're thinking it will really be on Man City's backside, and they'll be pressurised to accept something much less than that, because I think Phillips is the kind of guy, he'll pressurise City also, say I want to go to West Ham, please help me make it happen. And he's really loved at Man City, and Guardiola will tell the club, listen mate, don't mess the youngster, we've messed him up, we've messed Phillips around, don't mess him up anymore, he's happy at West Ham. If they want to pay 20 plus little repayment plan, just do it. I think that's a very clever move by West Ham, instead of being forced to put 40 million, and then West Ham, rightly so, are saying, listen, we don't really want to part with 40 million in the summer. We want to keep a bit of money for that striker, that kind of thing, isn't it? Hello, Trouty, how you doing, matey? So that's why I'm thinking, listen, at least, yeah, big sign. You don't listen, a lot of clubs are after him. Don't worry about that. Lots of clubs are after him, and I think, yeah, it looks good. So, yeah, we got 5 days left. Let's see what happens in the transfer window. I'll jump on and do shows as and when breaking news happens, but only breaking news that I got comfort in thinking it's going to happen, that it's serious, it's live news, it's true. So I always check with my 2-3 sources before doing that. Otherwise, I'll be doing a show every half an hour. The amount of players that people get plung around in, like my neighbour's probably linked with West Ham. You just can't do that. You've got to be realistic about it. Callum Wilson was a no story. That's why I didn't want to talk about it, everyone. That's a bullshit. We didn't want to go anywhere near that story. Having said that, Callum Wilson, whether you like him or not, is a true model of what a striker should be. That boy is a model striker. The right height, the right pace, the right build, the right capability, the right confidence. He's got it all. That man is Porsche as a striker. Amazing finishing, amazing runs that he makes. That's the DNA of a striker that when you compare him to Antonio, you know why I'm having a go at Antonio. That is exactly what West Ham should be looking for. Obviously a younger version, a less injury prone version. I think Isaac's got it in his game, but he'll be too expensive. I think Newcastle paid a lot of money for him. Isaac is one to keep an eye on, I think. But again, he keeps breaking down as well. But I love strikers who've got pace, who've got strength, who've got something about them. They've got that sixth sense about them, that bit of personality about them. But more often than not, it's those runs they make. That split half a second, they think, before the defender. That's what you pay for, that Antonio hasn't got, right? So you're often looking for Antonio. Antonio's hiding on the halfway line somewhere. Or he's standing behind two strikers like, can you give me the ball? That's not a striker. A striker's the one that goes slowly in the far post, near post, makes that run before the pass has been made. And that's what Paqueta was talking about, that he's trying to get a chemistry with Emerson, Bowen and Kudos. So you'll often see that Paqueta is already looking for Bowen and Kudos before he's released the ball. So you're going to see more and more of that. Whether Paqueta goes in the summer to see, I don't want to discuss that now. Otherwise, we could do a show for a whole hour, ifs and buts. I don't want to go into that. Let's talk about facts. Let's talk about what we can improve. Let's talk about what isn't right within our club. That kind of thing, isn't it, everyone? Listen, I'm going to give your Friday back to you guys. Good news early on. I'm going to get the rum out early today, I think. I was going to anyway. Fish and chips day today, lunchtime specials down my chippy. My local chippy does fish and chips, sausage and chips, pie and chips between 11 in the morning and 2 at £5.95, everyone. Can't say no to that. Anyway, you guys have a good Friday and we'll catch up soon. We'll catch up soon on the show and breaking news and things like that, really. So listen, God bless, take care. KP, Kalvin Phillips, KP Nuts. Hope KP is going to be the nuts for West Ham United, everyone. Take care.